the inception of the Fourth Republic, the governing party had always had an overwhelming majority in Parliament, but MPs were ushered into the 8th Parliament with equal numbers and one independent candidate. It's the first time in Ghana's history that the legislature recorded 170 male MPs from both sides and also 20 female MPs from the divide, plus an independent MP representing the people of Fomena in the Ashanti region. Some Ghanaians were excited about the current composition of Parliament, hoping that it would help the legislature to play its oversight responsibilities and sharpen the country's parliamentary democracy. Ransford Jampo is a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana.
If you have parliament and it's always one-sided, one side led by majority, and you always have minority, and the majority will always have its way, then that parliament is deficient or will be deficient in functioning as a countervailing authority to the powers of the executive. When we got to 2020 and we held elections, Ghanaians said enough of that kind of parliament. They voted to give us a hung parliament. And for me, it is unique to the extent that it's not happened before. It is unique to the extent that now the majority group will not have the political strength or the political muscle to flex.
Governments, and it's not peculiar to Ghana, ruling governments have agenda that they pursue. They need to drive the agenda with the approval of the legislature as provided in constitutions the world over. And so if you have the numbers and you are in government, it makes your work easy. If you don't have the numbers, then you have the added task of ensuring that the other side of the divide buys into your agenda and travels with you on the journey that you want to go.
So the first hurdle members of the governing NPP had to cross at the start of the 8th Parliament was to get the NDC caucus to back down on its quest to nominate a candidate for the speakership. But according to the minority, the NPP caucus failed to reach out on time. The party had already agreed to nominate Alban Babin as their candidate for the election of the speaker when former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, who at the time was still interested in being the speaker, reached out.
But I told him, Prof, you know the difficulty that we have when we try to elect Peter Lajiti. I don't think my party will be willing to go through that path. But if your party can present you, and our party doesn't present a position, because as at that time, my party hadn't taken a decision as to whether we feature a speaker or not. If you can get your party to do this, and then my party doesn't put a candidate on my honor, you can count on me. Then he asked, okay, so what does it take to reach out? And I also added, sorry, that since after the election, nobody is reaching out from your end. So my party hasn't yet met. We are meeting today to consider what to do. And they said, oh, so sure. I said, yes. Okay, so what will be my solution? I said, well, Alhaji Muhammad Idrisu is the Council of Elders on our side. In my view, if you could talk to Hackman, who is the chairman of the Council of Elders, to start talking from the top. If some understanding is reached that, oh, let's allow the NPP to do their speaker thing, then it becomes easy. But obviously, as a whip, I will stand by what my party said.
A minority determined to elect Alban Babin as Speaker of the 8th Parliament began mapping out strategies. The first was to court the support of the independent candidate, Andrew Isiama, of the Fomena constituency.
Yeah, and a lot of things happened.
What was his reaction?
He wanted time to think. And I can tell you one funny thing. I spent more time talking to his wife than himself. As part of my strategy. Talking to his wife and telling her what we were ready to offer, if he could come on board and what have you, until a powerful king called him. And then obviously we all respected that king.
So there were attempts to put him to the side of the NDC?
Yes, we did. And I think that we were almost succeeding. Then a powerful king called him. And then when he told me, I said, well, this is a king that myself I revered. So it will not be good to disobey him. But my advice to you is that you know how they've treated you. Don't accept anything. If you accept a ministerial position, they'll humiliate you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe and click the bell icon and get notified every time we share something interesting. We would love to have you on there.
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.